But just like I was saying, when you're going through your lineage, there's a lot of people that's not mixed with everything. And those are the people that they wanted to keep out. There's a lot of our people, right, that actually was able to continue to build or have families with other, what we all call as Indians today, or other tribes like the Gullah Geechee tribe.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot of them. They're up in South Carolina, and we visited their land. They was trying to take all of their stuff.
Matter of fact, I think they some of them just got their land back.
Yeah, a lot of them are not mixed up at all. But those are the people you don't hear about. If you go study the Trail of Tears, you'll find out the ones that didn't mix and mingle. You'll find out the ones that became extinct because they chose to die in slavery. They wouldn't mix their blood. You'll find the ones that ran and was able to, still maintain their true lineage. And then you can see some of them out here today if you really know how to look at that. That's why I laugh at a lot of people when they say, you're not black or you're not this, if you don't have kinky hair and all of that shit. Indians are what we consider to be our tribal people. We didn't have damn kinky hair. Your hair is according to what area you was living in and how you was able to maintain it. So everybody had different cultures, and that's something that I hate that they try to identify. So Aboriginals and all of that stuff, that's something that came completely later. But when you're talking about natives, the only way you could be a native if you actually really go down your lineage and figure out where you came from. And a lot of people,
I know I have my paperwork, so I know exactly where I come from, and I hope that everybody else can do the same.
But that's all I wanted to elaborate on. I've been talking for a minute, so somebody else want to speak.
Just us three, it seems like.
Nah, we just here building, Eddie. You know what I mean? I wanted some other people's thoughts too as well. I guess they'll come back. We rocking, man. We just rocking. We building. We talking.
But as far as what the Cynthia G and Taz conversation was about,
okay. That's cool. Let's go.
But that's what we're here for, right? And this, what the man and versus woman conversation.
Yeah, it went there. It started from a conversation of Taz titling it America don't like identify you as no black man, as no Indian or no native or whatever the hell out of here, some shit like that. That's how he titled it. So it was this discussion about all of that. Then it went kind of into like gender a little bit, relationships a little bit. Then Cynthia joined and it went full on to like woman's fear, man's fear. It just went straight out. And then it led into the argument that I was showing y'all with the man and the woman and Cynthia going at it, him putting on his camera, Nyland and all of them coming on.
Just to be honest, I used to be a subscriber to Cynthia G.
So,
I did.
So
it's because it was an answer to the manosphere topics. And I thought they were horrid to women. And when I saw a woman that was combating that space, I thought it was empowering. But eventually I saw it's not even her particularly. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm against the followers. It's they said that they wanted to abort black babies. And they made fun of me for being sympathetic to a young man who committed suicide. That's when I thought it was too much, and I can be, against, like, I can make an argument either way. But when it gets to the point of ridiculing people who have died, or like, I'm not going to have black babies, like that's extremely too much in my eyes. And maybe other people disagree, but that's just me. I have nephews and brothers and things of that nature. I do not want to have a black baby, like, a black male baby, like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's very extreme. And I think that type of thing shouldn't be supported. And I'm not saying that Cynthia G does that and she doesn't promote that actually, but it's the followers that's in the chat that does it. It's the same thing with Kevin Samuels. He promotes a certain thing, and it's a whole lot of things in his chat. Cretins in this chat that does a whole lot of things. I don't know. Am I wrong?
Let me say this about Cynthia G, because I'm not finna sugarcoat any of that shit. That's total ignorance.
Okay.
It is what it is. That is ignorance. When you got a brother sitting on the panel telling you about his situation with his child, and you come out and say, well, it must have been something you did and this like that. See, this is not supportive information. This is shit that shouldn't have even been said.
Oh.
You know. And that's something that's what I have to make, a point on.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the initial conversation, honestly.
Yeah, secondary as far as the way, that's why I snap on them the way that I do, because that's the same thing happened to me when I was on the panel. As soon as I said I love black men, oh bitch, you fucking mammy, you this, you that. And then what I don't understand about the people that's in the chat, or even a lot of those ignorant people on their platforms, they're not even educated to what these terms are that they're using. See, what saddens me is how many people was in the chat following the shit. Because you can have people out there teaching the wrong shit and acting out, but when you got people that's following that, and then you got a panel full of black men trying to say, well, look, I'm a good black man. I don't do this now. We don't know if you this. We don't know if you that. They trying to put everybody in a box, and that's what they got mad at me about. You cannot.
That's what I disagree with exactly. Like, you're trying to put everybody in the box, and I'm not in agreement with that.
Exactly. And see, a lot of stuff I'm finna start teaching. Mm-hmm. I tried, because one, she talking about the damn Supreme Court and what man, which one of you men have been to the Supreme Court, you dusties, and tried to get child support done. Well, let me pull up my documents. There was 3 black men actually who went to court, and they sued the child support office, and now child support has been deemed illegal. Technically, the mother is supposed to pay child support back because she's the one receiving government.
No, I had a mother. My mother paid child support because she sent my brothers off to their father, and she paid child support. So, for me, I have a different experience as far as child support and things of that nature. It's not like a male-dominated field because my mother paid it before herself. And
what I'm saying is, let me be specific. Child support is illegal, period. No one should be paying child support. That is a private entity that they actually created in order to capitalize off of. But the Supreme Court has documented that child support is illegal. Now, if you don't do your research and you sign these contracts and you go in there and put yourself in a situation, that's why I was listening to the brother.
I think the underlying issue is stop making kids that you don't want to have.
It ain't even about that. It's not about stop making kids. This is what I'm saying. People, a lot of women who use the child support shit, they're a bunch of bullshitters. Right. I had to agree with the brother. It's women who mad because you with the other sister. Oh, well, you dating embassy. I don't want my baby around her. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Finish the point. Because I've dealt with this shit. I've done law. I've been in courtrooms, and I've seen the biasness in these women. That's why I stand on my 10 when I say a lot of black men need to be respected. A lot of black men don't know their rights. Like the 4th Amendment protects fathers and children from being illegally taken, searched, sieged. It means your person, your property, your children is your property. But if this is not educated to the brothers, they will feel like they don't have a way out. Child support is illegal. It was an entity that was actually created for women that was on welfare. If you get this money from
no, you ain't lying about that. Yes, ma'am. It sure was. Yes,
if you get this money from us, we gonna send you to school. We gonna get you a job, and you sign this contract to pay it back. Then they come up with a law that's called abandonment, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. Because if you look up under the criteria of abandonment, you can't abandon a child that has never been in your possession.
I don't like the government being involved in children and our affairs, period. Like as far as like family affairs, I don't agree with the government being able to insert themselves.
But see, they don't insert themselves. That's the whole thing. Whoever goes and applies for the benefit inserts the government. And
I'm talking about like as far as CPS and DCFS and all those type of people.
That's what I said. Just let me.
They do insert themselves.
Just let me finish my point.
I'm sorry, love.
They don't insert themselves. We're not gonna say that because I've dealt with that before. Unless somebody has called, filed a fabricated report, and or apply for benefits. How the hell does CPS even know you got children in your home? So they don't put themselves in the positions of being in your business. A lot of people put CPS in their business. And a lot of women, when they first start going get Medicaid, food stamps, and welfare, like she said, the brother might have to run to the WIC office. But 90% of the time, the mother has full custody of the child when the child is born. They came up with abandonment. How can a father abandon a child that he doesn't even have any rights to according to their laws, if you look at them differently? Okay, then when you look at the fact that they have to be legitimized, where the fuck they do that at? If I come in here and say that this is my child, I shouldn't have to go through any blood test or any of this bullshit if I'm claiming the child. Now, fathers who are not claiming their seeds are not involved, that's different. But you got fathers that will go in there and stand up for their rights and tell them, this is my child. I don't need to go through any of this shit. Just let me get my baby.
Yes, ma'am. That's why I was saying the government is way too involved in how we deal with our own children.
You miss what I'm saying to you. Anytime now, for father, to be honest, if today they didn't have laws in place and a father could just pull up and take his damn baby from the insufficient mothers or the unfit mothers that have their children in inhabitable conditions and shit, without this woman being able to call the police and get their brother out of the house, if they didn't have things like Section 8 to keep the brother out of the house, if they didn't have all of these laws to so-called give a woman some type of power to keep the father away from their children, half these damn kids would be with their daddies. Half of them.
No, I agree. No, I agree with that sentiment.
I would even say 80% of them will, because these mothers, I'm not going against my black sisters, but there are some women that ain't shit. They got 100 men running in and out of the house. They get mad because I don't want you no more, so I'm going to beat the baby up. I don't want you. You feel me? You got a new girl.
DMX went through that, right? Like,
I went through that. I'm a black man. I went through that with a black woman, and I'm not online bashing every black woman. I'm here lifting our black women, but I'm going through that now. Not went. It's not past tense. It's present, and I've been going through this for at least 2 years and change now. So it's serious. It's not a fantasy. It's realistic. It very is.
No, I'm just trying to talk through it. I'm just saying, like, you know, our brother DMX went through it. Like, you know, he was beaten. He got his teeth knocked out because he was with his mother, and she had a boyfriend, and like he was just subject to whatever their rule was, and the man knocked his teeth out his mouth when he was 7 years old. And another male, because of his parentage or whatever, he got introduced to crack. Just a popular, you know what I'm saying, introduction. But like, no, I have my own myself. Like, you know, I got abused when I was in the home from a stepdad. So like,
my screen.
Share screen.
And I want to talk to young ladies about that situation. Honestly, it's not always a happy home. Like, you know, when somebody get a stepdad and he may have other values or whatever, it may do some things to you, man.
You're wrong. You're saying screen share not allowed. Hey, Oda.
What's up, Queen?
Go to your computer and type in child support is illegal according to the Supreme Court, so we can pull up the three brothers.
Okay. And for the record, my mother never lived on Section 8. We never was on welfare. We had a good patriarch in our family, and you know, my granddad bought homes for us or whatever to live in. We didn't have to live in projects or nothing like that. It happens to everybody, not just people who live in the projects or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're correct.
It does.
But they mostly target our people that's in the projects because they're not educated to the law.
It's on YouTube, or it's something I'm Googling?
It's on Google. It's an actual case. Yeah, it's going to come up. The Supreme Court.
So what you said to Google, what exactly?
The Supreme Court ruled child support is illegal.
So I just don't love passe. They get mad support and live lavishly off Section 8, don't work if they having babies and think they better than the working class.
But see, now that you can't argue with that, because 85% of
it is a reality, but it's not the entire reality also.
Yeah,
it's not my reality at all.
But it's a start. If you got somebody, see, this is the thing. When you got somebody telling you, I'm going to give you $500 a month, I'm gonna give you food stamps. This is your house. You can do everything you want to do, but have your man here. This woman already feel like she got power. Now it's kind of difficult. I'm not saying for all men, but some men are unable to make certain moves in the system and things like that. That was the first start of separating the families. Because if you are helping people as a whole, and you got a husband and a wife, and because the husband has no job, he got to get the hell out of the house while the woman get all the benefits, because men can't even get certain things. They just started allowing them to get food stamps, but they used to couldn't even get food stamps unless they had the child. So no, these actual resources was first made accessible to the white man, and then they were made accessible to the black woman. So that's something you have to look at.
This was all done during war.
Yeah,
World War II created a lot of these programs that we have today. World War II, when all the men went out, or Vietnam, because I'm born from military, so majority, like my family had to do all of the wars. So majority of the things that we have in statute as far as women working is result of war, when they had to draft men and the women just had to work, like, what I'm saying, and it ended up escalating.
Well, it's nothing wrong with that. The woman should want to work. I don't believe in all of that. See, this is the thing that I have with my black women. The white woman over here going through the suffrage movement because they want to build guns and run the oil refineries and shit. You got black women want to sit on their ass and think they're supposed to get their feet rubbed. No, it takes two. The white woman realized when the white man was doing all of that, they weren't getting no benefits out that shit. They didn't have their own money, or they wasn't stable. So they had to go out and fight for those rights to work and all of that shit. It's crazy that our women will fight for the right to sit on their ass all day while the black man do everything. But then the white woman over here fighting to be equal with her man so she can get a check. Make it make sense to me. So if you're in a position where you're sitting on your ass, you ain't got no man, you ain't got shit going on, that's because you're not trying to structure yourself. In every good household, there's a standard good woman. Behind every black man is a very good black woman. I don't care if it's his mother, his sister, his auntie, his cousin, and whatever. It takes two. And that's where I think a lot of black women are misinterpreting. I'm supposed to stay at home and watch the baby while he go work and shit. Without, if you can, 25 cents an hour, or I'm just gonna say $5 an hour, $10 an hour. How the hell he gonna do all that when Pampers, milk, all of this shit need to be bought? What woman in their right mind who really love her man and want in some type of, I'm gonna say, good relationship and equality will push themselves to make the man do everything anyway? That's just a lazy ass bed wench to me. That's how I feel. You just want to lay on your back while the man do everything. It ain't all about cooking and cleaning and keeping your fucking legs in the air against some peanuts. You got to bring something else to the table. And I hate to say it, that's why you see a lot of these guys that's out here, I'm going to say street guys and stuff, they find them a woman with some sense. They go try to get somebody who in college or somebody who got their own business going, because they know that sister, she going to take that motherfucking money and put it into something and elevate that shit. And he going to eventually come up out the game. A lot of people, when you work together on certain things, equality is what was important, even in the suffrage movement with our black people. Them sisters said, fuck all this white girl shit and just voting. I need my man to be free. Damn that. And even the men went and argued to vote first. The women weren't doing that. They were somewhat trying to worry about some other shit. It was more of the men that was trying to get voting rights. Because if the black man was accepted at that time and respected, it opened a lot of doors for the black woman. So I don't understand why we can't see this big picture that's going on here. Separating.
What I want to say, we think that the black man is going to be respected when they brought us over here to work in the first place. I don't think it's going to be respect there. I think that we should focus more energy on how we can work together.
Now, let me say this. That's not true. See, everybody else feel the black man. But then when you got the black woman going against the black man, what you got? See, that's what you don't get. This is why they go through so much.
It's a small amount of women that go against the black man. Definitely. I see it.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not a person that goes against it. I'm a business owner. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love to hire my own people. Like, you know, that's my endeavor, is and be able to put money in my own people's pockets. That's my thing.
See, we
But
can't
I'm
say
just saying that we have to, like, you know, start being less emotional.
we can't say that here in 2021. It's more black women that go against black men. That's why you got a high level of homosexuality. It's more black women that goes against black men. It's just that white men, they're not gonna date or marry black women. If it is, it's for a publicity stunt. Don't look at the superstars. Don't tell me about the basketball players when the most of these people is just trying to get a check. Average white men that are in these societies today, most of them are still KKK members, Aryan brothers. They was raised a certain way. Daddy ain't gonna let him bring what they consider to be no black spook or whatever you want to call us in their house.
So
White
will we be
women,
able to help them people? Will we be able to help them people that think that they are, like, you know, if a person worships white people, will we be able to help them?
no, because I'm gonna explain something.
Right. So why are we focused on them people?
You have to
Help the
focus on
people.
them. You have to focus on them because that's the dangerous weapon that they use. That's why I tell everybody, quit talking.
We can recognize the people when it come into the camp, right?
No, you can't. If that's the case, none of our organizations would have ever been infiltrated. The way to get us is to send one of us. And if they got a bunch of house niggas that we have had that's been camouflaging themselves in our community for years, acting like they care about what we're going through, acting like they're trying to make a difference, and the whole time in the bed or on a contract with the white man, them ain't our damn people. And that's what your majority see that's been put in front of you, those that have contracted themselves out or sold themselves out. And I want to get back on my point, is more detrimental because, see, with the white man, a white woman and a black man, they figure more black babies will be born because the white people look at the one drop syndrome. But white men is definitely not in a hurry to put babies in black women because they already know how the
They're not making babies, period. They want to put seeds in black people because we generate more babies than they do.
No, they don't want us to mix up though. White people don't believe in that mixing shit.
They could. After 2 generations, they definitely could create another white person. And that's why you see the commercials that you see about, you know, black women being with white men and all this kind of stuff like that. Yeah, they know that their numbers are, you know, dwindling, and they have to do something. So, like, you know, it's really common sense if you really realize it. Like, they don't want us to be on top of them. Then they bring us over here to be on top of them. So you got to expect that they're not going to be fair to us. Period. They're not going to.
This is the thing. I think that's another thing wrong with our people. Who the fuck cares about their fairness? That's what we mean when we say separate.
No, I don't care.
No, I'm saying in general.
I'm with you.
That's what I'm saying in general. I don't give a damn about them liking me, but they can respect me more if I was doing something substantiated for myself. No, they're not serious if you just begging for reparations and they already know that there's a game behind it.
Right.
They're not going to respect us if you just sitting around talking about this shit and trying to say what they will never do. If they probably felt like black people would never let them take power because we was in power first. The white man was the last person to enslave us. They didn't think like that. They came and took what the fuck they wanted. They killed off everybody they needed to. They sold out babies. They did whatever the fuck they had to do to gain the power that they have today. That's the problem that I have with my people. Fuck all that begging shit and waiting on the savior. And fuck them doing something. We don't care if they do it or not. You force respect and you force power.
Yes, ma'am. I'm with you 100% on that. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you can't be begging these people, the same people you think oppress you, gonna give you a leg up. Hell no, they ain't. They're not going to do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, well, they gonna give us reparations so we can be above them. Hell no, they didn't even build this country for that purpose.
And I wanted to reference to Uda. You know, I know you got a chance to read that, but these were black men. You see this case that he has up, but Uda, you can read it because I can't see it to elaborate to her.
I'll start from the top page. I've been sectioning. I just want to say something to everybody watching and listening. I've been sectioning the streams because sometimes they get long, and I want y'all to be able, and whoever in the future tense can be able to process this information. And sometimes this good information gets buried in long streams. So when I do go to segment this stream, which will be whenever, I'll let y'all know, and you just keep rejoining because I'm just going to keep the lives rolling. So you just refresh my channel, and then the next one will pop up. So just to let you know. All right, so this is saying, hold up, let me make sure. I can zoom it in a little bit more, right? Let me make sure so I can see if that's good, that the people could read it too. Okay, cool.
Is this your case, beloved?
Huh?
This your case, beloved?
No, this is what Nandy told me to pull up, which is the Supreme Court case. Right, Nandy?
Yes, that's referencing, like Cynthia G said, what black man now took their ass to the Supreme Court and tried to change the child support laws. You want to argue about the child support laws, where here's a case right here. And let's see what the Supreme Court said.
And this is the exact case, right?
Yes, that's the exact case.
Okay, so this is Larry Owens versus these people right here: Maria Zucker, Michelle McDaniel, Polk County Department, and everything like that. Let's see. Let's go down a little bit. Is this case? Is 2019? Okay, this is a 2019 case. Questions presented. These are the questions. Can you hear me good, clear?
Yes.
All right. These are the questions presented. Does a state judges have authority to preside over a case when he or she has a conflict of interest? Does absolute immunity apply when a judge has acted criminally under color of law and without jurisdiction, as well as actions taken in administrative capacity to influence cases? Okay, number 2, right, is going to go down. Just basically, these are some of the questions so I'm just going to read a couple just to give y'all a sense of what's going on. Then we can move down to further pages. Does 11th Amendment immunity apply when officers of the court have violated 31 U.S. Code 3729 and the state has refused to provide any type of declaratory relief? Okay, so this is going down all of the, let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see exactly, so we can get into some of the subject matter of what the exact case was about, right? I just want to make sure I'm skipping nothing. No grants. It shows all of the questions and different things like that that's being presented. Party cannot be bound by contract that he has not made or authorized free consent. Okay, still.
Now let's stop right there for 1 minute. What they mean by that, when they say a party can't be binded by a contract, meaning most child support contracts are signed by the mother.
Yes.
They go and implement this contract.
Yeah.
And if the father never signs it, he didn't know it was out there. He didn't have any idea that somebody put a child support issue out on him. He is not liable or obligated to pay any of that shit. He is not liable to be going to jail for abandonment or any of the things that's indicated in this contractual agreement that was actually entered into with the mother, not the father.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this is basically breaking down all these. Can a judge have immunity for their non-judicial activities who knowingly violate civil rights?
Now, stop right there. Let me explain what they mean by that, right?
Yeah.
When they saying they operate under the color of law and they violate civil rights, the 4th Amendment protects father, mother, and child from interference, any type of illegal searches, seizures, meaning taking my child from me, or entering into any contractual agreement without all parties. So judges are biased because they will still issue warrants, they will still issue child support orders and stuff on fathers, knowing that they're violating the color of law, because none of these things are in place in order for them to go after fathers. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, before this gets too long, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm about to chop it right here. Retitle this, What is Separating Black Men from Black Women? That is the new title that's coming up. Refresh the community, and this will pop up. All of the communities is just being streamed to one community: Africa, West Africa, South, all kinds of channels. But if you're at any of these channels, salute to you.
I think it's just a miscommunication.
What do you mean?
We don't talk amongst each other, really. We talk over each other, and we don't really hear each other out.
We do that
as far as the miscommunication between Black women and Black men. That's what I see, and I've been in the manosphere and the womansphere, and been amongst all these channels and everything, and we talk over each other a whole lot, and we don't even let each other expound on our points, or even just give each other humanity of thought.
We can get into that. We building. I'm just telling the people that I'm chopping the stream right now, and I'm rejoin. I want them to rejoin. You can continue your build. Sister Nandy want me to read something right here, and this is what I'm telling them that I'm titling it, so they can look for that when they refresh it, and we can continue to build on the same build.